Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 311 and you'll want to subscribe right now and ensure you'll never miss a journey. The entrepreneurs that join me each week reveal the steps they took on their journey to success, and these steps reveal a path you can take as well. Today we have Rowan Wiechmann, a former military sergeant who turned his passion into his purpose to help high-achieving businessmen elevate their performance in business and life. Hello, Rowan.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. My audience are excited to hear your story, but just start by telling us one thing we are going to learn from you today that will help us on our journey to success.
Yeah, for me, most of the time, one of the things I focus most upon, let's say it like that, is helping people just create the best life possible, because everyone, I truly believe, should deserve to have that. And ever since I've been in the military, I learned a lot of skills and knowledge to create something like that. So that's something I'd love to share and talk about.
So I can't wait to hear about that, but let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own business?
Yeah, sure. So, first and foremost, I've been in the military for almost 6 years as a leader, as a sergeant. But just to go a bit before joining the military, I never knew what I wanted to have in my life. I had a okay youth, but I honestly never knew what I wanted with my life. So that decision joining the military for me was one of the most important ones, because I learned so much about myself, about leading, about working with people, about getting the most out of your life, and a lot of other different things. So in these 6 years, I've done a lot of interesting stuff, but also I've been to Afghanistan. And after that, basically after those almost 6 years, I loved the military, but I also knew, like, if I want to live a normal life, staying more at home, let's say it like that, because back then my relationship ended because of it. I made the decision to first join a corporate company where I lead teams up to 65 people as a team leader logistics. But 1 year in the corporate space, I felt like I was still working in like a box, so I couldn't be creative, which is one of my skills and what I love to do the most. And also at that moment, I started to create my social media marketing agency, but again, something was missing, and I always worked with people. I always have led a lot of people, so I decided to shift from social media marketer to coach, high performance coach. And from that moment, I truly believe that I started to live my purpose, which is running my business called The Pure Man and helping mainly male entrepreneurs grow their business, but also grow across all areas of life, so that they can lead by example and inspire others to do the same. So that's just in a quick notice.
Wow, what a background, Rowan. But why do you do what you do?
I just truly believe you have one life. So if you are not living it to the fullest, it's just a waste of time, because you only have one life. And when I was 4 or 5 years old, I had like a near-death experience. I had some issues with my breathing. So I got in the hospital, and one night I woke up, I couldn't breathe anymore. So I woke up at the intensive care. And I think for me, I'm not sure, but that is how I relate to it. That event made me really focus at I just want to live my life to the fullest, because it can be over at any moment, any time. So I just want to be happy and content with everything I do. And that's just basically it.
Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful in your new business venture?
Yeah, so of course money will tell a lot in terms of that people like what you do and that they get value out of it. But for me, the most important factor is that I'm inspiring other people to change their lives. So for me, more success means transforming other people's lives. So seeing someone joining, for example, my one-on-one or group coaching experience, and in 3 months or 6 months, they became a total different person. For me, that's true success. And I see this happen almost with everyone. So for me, that's just, it's amazing to see how that even is possible, because I just use a lot of skills I learned from the military and just, follow my intuition in doing so.
Okay, as you mentioned, you have been working in the corporate world and now you own your own business. You have met entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. But can anyone be an entrepreneur? Or are some people more cut out for it than others?
Yeah, so if you really want to, I think you definitely can be an entrepreneur, but it doesn't say that will be for a lifetime. Because of course, some people are naturally born more into that entrepreneurial mindset. I honestly was never someone who had an entrepreneurial mindset, but I am someone who has a lot of passions, has a lot of ideas, has a lot of creativity. So even when you are not born in the entrepreneurial mindset, which is like already selling a lot of stuff, trying to flip a lot of things, still, I truly believe that you can become some entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, it's, in my opinion, more important to focus on what fulfills you the most. So if you like to work in a corporate company or whatever kind of company it is, and you love to be an employee, hey, that's beautiful. I've been an employee for 7 years, 6 years in the military, of course, a bit different than average, but also 1 year as a team leader logistics. And I loved it. But for me, it was just like I couldn't fully express who I am and not really fulfill my potential, because a lot of things that I'm really good at were not aligned with the function and job title I had. So yes and no, just to answer your question.
Tell my audience about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
Yeah, so for me, the magic moment that everything went right was really the moment that I decided to become a coach. So I hired another coach, which was like a more spiritual business coach. And back then I was definitely no spiritual person, but I thought, you know what? Opposites attract each other. So I just thought, you know, I'm just going to have this conversation with this coach, even though he's different from my own perspective. And that was for me the biggest game changer, because I told him, listen, I don't know exactly what kind of coach you want to become. Just tell me where I talk a lot about, what you see in me, what you see in my skills, in my knowledge, and everything. And then tell me what kind of coach I am. And then very fast, we found out that I talked a lot about getting the most out of your life, making an impact, influencing other people, leadership, stuff like that. And yeah, that decision, telling myself like, yeah, I'm a high performance and mindset coach and a leadership coach, a bit in that direction, was as if everything aligned inside of myself. And I just really recall that the first 3 months I didn't make any money, but I was so fulfilled. I was so happy. And that was the magical moment for me that everything shifted. And I truly believe everyone can have something like that as well. And that's also why my company is called The Pure Man. Because when everything is getting aligned with the pure man inside of you, at least that's how I see it, then everything starts to become way easier and you just head in the right direction.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
Of course, a lot of skills in communication, sales, marketing, and all those business skills. But for me personally, the most important things that I learned was everything about myself, because the business is a reflection of you. So if you see something is not going well in the business, it's very easy to give something external as an excuse that is the mistake and that's the problem. Well, most of the time it's inside of yourself. So for me, it was just an exploration and really exploring myself while building up my own business, because it's just a reflection of myself every single time. So I can say a lot of sales and marketing and those very powerful skills. But for me, it was more internally inside of myself.
What are you still doing in the way you work that you just know you have to stop doing?
Yeah, something I'm recently working on is delegating my work. So I always thought that what I do, I cannot find someone who is doing the same like I do. Of course, that's not the truth, but that's something we try to say to ourselves to just keep doing the stuff that we are doing. So for me, that would be more delegating, hiring team members so that we can create something together.
What is the most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have?
Yeah, I think if I need to choose, because this is a really good question, I think that mainly it's that you think that you already know enough. That's one of the things. Because when you say you know enough, you probably don't know enough. But this is just your ego who is just trying to tell you something and protect you. But also, if I would add up something else, would be that I'm not good enough. So it's the other side of it, so that you feel like that you're never good enough. And then you're in a never-ending loop of not taking action because we always feel like that we're not good enough yet. So it's or I know it all, or I'm not good enough. Those two beliefs are, I think, the most dangerous for an entrepreneur.
If you could rerun the first year of your business, what would you definitely not do?
Yeah, it's really a hard question because, to be honest, I'm really happy with everything that I've done. Because I could grow way faster, but I made decisions to focus on my own growth first before growing the business. Because especially as a coach and what I do, every client is a mirror of yourself. So I can either ignore it or just take action with it. So to be honest, right now, the only thing that I would say is take more action towards content creation without overthinking it. I think that would be the only thing right now.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
A lot of my time to help a lot of other people, especially at the beginning. Because it's not that I'm so important, but it's more like your own time is scarce. So you don't have all the time of your life every single time. And then it's super important that you see that is so valuable, because that time you could also spend on your loved ones or people who matter even more. So I think that would be my answer for that question.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
For sure, support from my loved ones. So my girlfriend is one of the most important persons in my growth. She really let me be myself, really let me express myself, let me go in this challenge of becoming an entrepreneur and really let me transform myself. And of course, also other family members. But I think mainly my girlfriend was one of the most important factors to really allow myself to be me, to really explore myself and to evolve in the person I am right now.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
Yeah, I really like to party, but some people know it. But if we then look at like clients and online, might possibly be one of the things I get a lot is that I'm smaller than I look like. So I think that's most of the cases.
What is the most important question to ask someone who's bought from you?
Yeah, really, really good question. So the most important question is first, like, what is it exactly what you want in life? But that's not just it, but more importantly, following up with other questions like, why do you want it? So to answer your question, I think asking the why behind everything someone says is one of the most powerful questions you can ask someone. Because if someone says, I want, for example, a new car. Okay, why do you want a new car? Yeah, because it's shining. Okay, why do you want a car which is shining? Most of the time, it's something behind the first answer, which then shows like why it's really important for someone. And that's a lot of the times more surprising than people expect.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so what do you exactly want to know? More like how it look like and
What is it? How can we join it? Who can join it?
my main services are divided in two different things. So one is I have one-on-one coaching, which is for men and women. So I mainly coach men right now, but Also women, I would love to coach them as well. And I help them more specific in growing their business by 2 to 7x, but also growing all areas of life. So if you feel like that you could do way more in terms of your health, that's what we cover as well. If you want to do more in your spiritual practice, that's what we focus on as well. Like all areas of life, relationships, mind, discipline, consistency, whatever. That's one of the things. But also the second one is more in terms of also for the one-on-one, we also focus on getting you results in everything you want. So if you want to get a result in, let's say, your business, we're going to create the clear steps to get towards that goal. And we are going to achieve it together. So a lot of accountability involved, a lot of involvement from my side. But if we then go to the group, that's a community called the Pure Performance Unit, or in short, the unit, where I serve 20 plus male entrepreneurs who make around like 5 to 100K dollars per month. And we help them, one, grow their business, but also grow across all areas of life. And we have a tracking system. We have all kind of tools, but also in the weekly calls, 2 weekly calls where we talk a lot about stuff they've never thought about someone before, told someone before. So it's a lot about emotions, feelings, stress, all that kind of stuff, because for men, it's very hard to just be honest about those things. And I truly believe that when we can talk about it in a group like that, like a safe zone for them, then they can express themselves more fully, also outside of the group. So that's why I also have this community only for men, because I see this is a challenge for a lot of young guys. And if I can provide a safe space for them so that they can fully express themselves, learn more about themselves than they ever learned before. And that's just amazing to see how that's growing, because I just want to create military companionship and bring it to the entrepreneurial space.
How can we connect with you?
Yeah, so I'm most active on Instagram, where it's just my first name dot surname, so Rowan dot Wiechmann, ROWAN dot WIECHMANN. But also if you search for this name on Google, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, I know for sure I'm the only Rowan Wiechmann in this world right now as we speak. So for sure, if you just Google my name, you will find me on all the platforms.
Thank you. There will be more from Rowan in a moment. If you are listening to this on a podcasting platform and you are encouraged by Rowan's journey, please go to our website at onlinesuccessjourney.com. The site has tons of audio clips from hundreds of successful entrepreneurs, guests' journey, all there to help you find the path for your own online success journey. The site offers exclusive members-only content, and you can join absolutely free and be part of this amazing online success community today. Check it out. That's onlinesuccessjourney.com. Now, Rowan, I would love for you to share more with my audience if you are up for it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Do you like to watch movies or read books?
Tough question. I honestly would say 50-50, because I also really love watching movies, but then for sure in cinema. I'm also loving watching movies at home, but more in cinemas. So 50-50 on that question.
Okay. Tell us, what is your favorite movie that has some relevance to being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so one of the movies that comes in my mind first is the Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. It's a very, very inspiring movie about also someone who wants to become a broker. And he is really broke at the beginning with his son, but he keeps pursuing, keeps persevering, keeps pushing. And then at the end of the movie, of course, he made it happen. But that's just showing a lot of grit and perseverance. So that's super cool.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
Yeah, I think mainly if that would be like the last money I have, then it would probably not be invested, because then at that moment it's just taking action and making sure that there's more money on the bank. But if then a lot of systems are already in place, maybe advertisements would be one of the things I would do.
What is the best business book you have ever read?
It's not the best, but it is definitely one of the most, how do you say it? One of the books that always stays in my mind, which is called Start with Why. For me, that book, everything started from there, literally. But then I just have to look back at what I have in my stock. Then it's not 100% about business, but I think it will help so many entrepreneurs grow their business like crazy. As for me, Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink. It's more about a mindset and leadership than business itself. But I personally believe that it all starts with mindset and leadership first. Because then when you take action, fearless action, and then do it, you will learn so much more about business while taking action.
If you are going to keep a note to yourself in your pocket every day, what would be written on it?
I'm always leading by example.
What is your next chapter?
My next chapter is really focusing on expanding my community, the Pure Performance unit or the unit. I want to grow it to like 100, 200 people, because it's just amazing to see already what we created with these 20 guys. And for me, it's just a shame if I am not growing this to a higher capacity, because the impact is already so much. Yeah, it would be very egoistic to just keep it at this level.
Do you feel like you succeeded or like you are only on the way?
I definitely feel succeeded, but that's more like in a sense of I'm deciding my own life no matter what. I'm definitely not there where I could be or maybe want to be, but I am at the position I am right now, and that feels good, because the more spiritual I got about it, it just feels right to be in this spot as long as I'm focusing on growing at least 1% every single day.
Will you ever stop?
No, I don't think so. For me, it's not about the money, but it's just living your life in passion and purpose. Of course, money is a beautiful part of it, because you can create a lot more impact with it as well. And it's also just nice to have. But as long as I'm passionate and purposeful on what I'm doing, I'm never stopping. And I truly believe when the passion is gone, you will always find something else. So that's why I think I will never stop.
Remind us how we can connect with
so
you.
If you just Google my name, you will find a lot of channels for sure. But the main channel will be Instagram, my first name and then dot my surname. I'm the only Rowan Wiechmann, and I probably think the whole world. So on social media will be easily found, and on Google as well.
Rowan, it's been great to have you here to share your online success journey with us.
Yes, it was a pleasure to be on the show. And thank you for asking all these great questions.
You are welcome. Remember, success is a journey. Don't wait. Let's start the journey. Patience and Rowan.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest, and want you to know there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast, and they're only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on your favorite platform to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at iTunes and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share your journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out her course on clarity while you're at the website. Finding clarity is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.